Crystal Palace, FA Cup winners not long ago, and now the club just feels like it's in absolute turmoil. Today, we're going to break down absolutely everything that is happening behind the scenes at Selhurst Park so you guys can truly understand what is going on. So let's get into it. Crystal Palace have been a Premier League mainstay for over a decade now, a club known for stability, mid-table finishes, always finishing 12th, and very passionate fans. But lately, it seems almost like that stability has turned into uncertainty. Big players are leaving. There's rumours flying absolutely everywhere. The manager is on his way out, and fans just don't know what direction the club is going in anymore. The first major issue is the manager, Oliver Glasner. Now, Glasner is a quality coach. He helped deliver that historic FA Cup win. He brought real energy into the squad and pressing intensity into the team. But there's always a twist. Glasner has already confirmed that he will leave Crystal Palace at the end of the season. Now, that announcement alone, especially doing it so early like in January, creates uncertainty within the squad. And to make things even more intense, he's publicly criticised the club's transfer strategy, saying that the squad feels abandoned by the board, that they're not helping him with the squad. Now, it's pretty rare to see managers kind of slag off the board, and when they do, it's serious. I mean, look what happened to Ruben Amorim. Next up, one of the biggest signings and exits of the window, Marc Guehi has left Crystal Palace. Now, Guehi was one of the core leaders in Palace's defence, and he's now a Manchester City player. But selling your captain in the middle of the season isn't something you see very often, especially when he's gone for such a small fee compared to how much they could have got for him in the summer. And especially when they need stability at the back right now, you just don't sell your captain. Now, onto possibly the most controversial bit for Crystal Palace, Jean-Philippe Mateta. Now, Mateta has been telling Palace he wants to leave in the January transfer window. This isn't a rumour. Reports have said that he's actually handed in a transfer request to the club. Now, Aston Villa, Juventus and other big sides are interested in signing him, and Palace value him at around 35 to 40 million. But again, when your main goal scorer tells you he wants to leave mid-season, that presents a whole new challenge. So what are Crystal Palace actually doing about it? Well, reports are saying that Palace are actively trying to identify replacements. One name that has been strongly linked is Jurgen Strand-Larsen from Wolves. He is a Premier League proven striker and would cost around 40 million. They are also linked to a right back because injuries have exposed depth issues in that position. They don't really have a lot of depth there. But the key question is, are these replacements good enough and can they gel quickly? After all, transfers in January are always tricky. That leads us into the bigger problem, squad uncertainty. Now, when you lose your captain and potentially your main striker, that's not just a numerical problem, that's a leadership problem as well. And when you look at Palace's squad, they don't really have obvious players to fill in that leadership gap. They don't have the type of player that can change the atmosphere in training, or, anyone that's really got that moment in matches that could just spark a little bit of something and ultimately get the results for them. It's one thing to lose players with big offers on the table, but it's another one to lose the ones who define how the team plays. And what are Crystal Palace fans saying about all this? Well, I actually went onto some fan forums and of course on social media, and the mood is a mix of frustration and actual just disbelief. Some fans think the board is doing the right business by selling at high value and reinvesting smartly, while others believe the club undervalues its own assets and just isn't ambitious enough. Most fans, though, from what I understand, agree on one thing. They want clarity on the long-term vision, because right now it feels like Palace are just kind of stuck in limbo. When a manager publicly criticises recruitment strategy and then announces he's leaving, that sends a message. Because it doesn't matter how good your squad is, teams react to confidence, not just talent. And when players don't see a project they believe in, that really does affect morale. This is exactly the kind of thing that can lead into inconsistent performances, tactical confusion, and eventually you're dragged right into the relegation battle. Now, historically, Crystal Palace's model has been develop young talent, sell high, and reinvest in squad depth. Now, for a club of Palace's size, that works, but only if you replace big players quickly and with the right players. When transfers do take too long or the replacements aren't proven, the team can look weaker before it even gets stronger, and that's exactly what is happening right now at Palace. So what does this mean for the rest of their Premier League season? If Mateta leaves and Guehi is already gone, Palace need goals and defensive stability right now. Without a clear plan or a reinforcement strategy, Palace really risk sliding down the table and into the relegation battle. That is the danger of turmoil in January. Instead of building momentum, you lose it and you start to struggle. Which brings us to the big question: is Palace actually in crisis, or are they just going through a transition? Because this could either be a necessary rebuilding phase that is going to hurt before it starts to get better, or it could just be honestly a mismanaged window that sets Palace back for the next few years. Only time and whatever the board decide to do next is going to answer that question. Now, personally, if I was running Crystal Palace, I would focus on getting a top quality striker in as soon as possible. I'd focus replacing Guehi and his leadership with experience. I'd fully back the manager, or at least, make a clear leadership choice. And most importantly, I would communicate a long-term vision to the fans, because they are desperate for it right now. And, after all, clarity and direction can heal a lot of the uncertainty we're seeing at Palace right now and a lot of the damage that has been done. So what's really going on at Crystal Palace right now is just a club at a crossroads. Losing leaders, facing big decisions, and trying to rebuild while still competing, that's never easy. Let me know in the comments below, are Palace making the right decisions, or is this a disaster in the making? If you enjoyed this breakdown, then please do smash the like button, subscribe to the channel as well for more videos like this, and follow me on my socials as well, why not? But yeah, thank you guys so much for taking the time out your day to watch this video. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you stick around, I promise. You won't regret it.